Hello, everyone, and welcome to an impromptu hangout session. I actually just completed Death Stranding 2 here on stream on DSPGaming. It's August 15th, 2025. We got about 30 plus minutes to hang out. So let's just see what everyone wants to talk about who's still here. The thing is, we don't have a big audience for it. But I'm curious if anyone just wants to talk. I actually just posted up on on X and on my posts on my channel. We'll see if more people swing by. So if you're here live in chat and you want to talk to me, just tag me in the chat. And let's see what you guys want to talk about. I just typed in the kick chat so guys can tag me. Let's toss some questions my way. Slayer is here. He says, I've caught back up with the stream. I think the game is great and should be in the contender for Game of the Year. I think Clear Obscure is better, but this is second for me. Here's the thing. That story is one of the best in gaming. Both Death Stranding 1 and 2, literally some of the best storylines I've ever experienced in a video game. But, man, that gameplay. It's so hard for me to say it's a Game of the Year contender when you're doing deliveries and the gunplay, and it's so boring and so easy. It's just like, can you award a Game of the Year solely on its story and ignore all of its other elements that aren't very good? That's hard for me, you know? Like, I respect Kojima, and I really like the story, and I will recommend these games to people if they want a great narrative, but I can't, in good faith, be like, oh, yeah, Game of the Year, play it. You know? Do I think Battlefield can compete with Call of Duty? It's too early to say Jersey Mike. I'll let you know when I play more of it. I'll play more on Sunday, and I'm likely getting it. And but I'll say the game seems sound. Right now, its weakest part is the graphics are a little buggy. Like, there was some weird shit going on with the graphics that's really bizarre. So hopefully they can polish that. But outside of that, it seemed good. The gameplay seemed pretty fun. So, well, Slayer says he's not bored with the gameplay. So he thinks that, basically, it could be a Game of the Year contender. If that's the case, and if you like the gameplay, then I don't know why you wouldn't think this is a Game of the Year contender. I mean, it's got everything going for it. It's got amazing graphics, amazing voice acting and mocap, right? Character models are super duper outstanding. The soundtrack is quite good. The story is amazing. The one part I don't like, if you like it, then it's probably your Game of the Year. My top 5 picks for Game of the Year so far, I really don't have 5 yet, I don't think. Like, I would say Clear Obscure and Blueprints are 2 front runners for me. But outside of that, I just don't think there's been much of anything this year that's been great. Most games that came out that were big AAA releases were kind of lackluster and underperforming for me. Yeah, I would have to really look at things soon, but I don't know yet. I honestly don't know. Luckily, in the next few months, we have a lot of great games that are going to come out. For example, just taking a look at the game release schedule here. All right. We've got the Gears of War Reloaded, the Metal Gear Delta Snake Eater remake, Silent Hill F, the Directive 8020, Ghost of Yote, Battlefield 6, whatever the new Call of Duty will be, Pokemon ZA Legends, Ninja Gaiden 4, Outer Worlds 2. That's just the ones I have on my list. I'm sure there's more than that I don't even have on there yet. So out of those, you could have some really solid contenders for Game of the Year. I guess we'll have to see, what else comes out and how good any of these are. Because just because I mentioned it doesn't mean it's going to be good. It could suck, right? I guess we'll see. Cydia says, how can the story of a game be its strongest point when the twist of the story can be seen coming a mile away? Because that's not the only twist, nor is that twist the big thing about the game that you need an answer to at all. There's a lot going on in that plot, and I feel like the plot is satisfying, even if you figure out the twist yourself during the game like I did. I still liked the story. Astrobot came out last year, Gaia 1. What are you talking about? Would I consider playing a city building game? What do you mean, like Sim City or what's that other one? There's another one that's a city builder, right? I don't know. I've never thought about it, and people don't really seem to like sim stuff that much when it comes to, like, a strategic sim. Like, a more action-based sim, like Truck Sim, where I'm driving and we're talking and, that works. But I'm not so sure that city building would work. I don't know about that. When did I decide to fully rock a goatee? When I got laid off from my office job. That was 2010, late 2010. So at that point, I was like, I just want to grow out a beard. At first, I didn't grow out the goatee. I actually grew out a full, like, a beard I was trying to grow out to see how it felt. But the beard on my face, it was too much, and it was actually bothering me. So I shaved it down shorter, and I actually liked this. I was like, all right, I'll go with this for a while, and it just worked, so I just kept it. So it's been about 15 years I've kept this goatee now. Slayer thinks they should do Death Stranding 3 in Japan. When we were finishing, people were saying maybe Europe. That could work, too. Japan or Europe could work. The The T Zigtot, I can't pronounce your name. So I've seen quite a few opinions that Death Stranding 2 heavily improves for them post-story, as they can do deliveries and relax without constant interruption from characters. Thoughts? It doesn't matter. It's over. If the game is over, the post-game is extra content, and that's fine. But for me, I'm done. I'm not going to go back and re-experience all the deliveries and everything. What I will say is, as you saw, if you were just here for the ending, when you beat the game, there's a mode where basically the BTs and the ghost mechs are dramatically reduced in their occurrence, so it makes the deliveries a lot easier. By the way, old ugly bastard, I apologize. An hour ago, he did a $5 super chat, and he said, "Who keeps funding Kojima?" Laughing out loud. It was a $2 super chat, by the way. And he just did another $5 super chat, and he says, "You see articles about how Gen Z and Gen Alpha aren't buying games anymore. They tend to only stick to platform games like Roblox." I do feel that gaming is changing. Gaming is more becoming a drop in, drop out, play games to casually experience some fun experience rather than, oh, I invest $70 into a game that I play 20, 30 hours. Or, oh, I'm becoming a competitive player at this game and I put a ton of time into it. I don't think that's what it is anymore. I think gaming is becoming a mainstream thing so ingrained in our lives that now it's like, I want to pick up my phone and play it for an hour when I'm bored in between doing stuff. Or I want to pick up a controller and play this game, or go on my keyboard and mouse, play this game for just a little bit, jump in, jump out. And also, if you haven't noticed, games are becoming way less of a long-term experience. What's the hot game today? Well, you might talk about it for a week, and next week, no one ever talks about it ever again. But it got its time in the sun and it sold a bunch, at least for that week. Gaming is definitely changing. It's like I said during Death Stranding 2. During Death Stranding 1, everyone talked about Death Stranding for like 2 months, 3 months straight. It was a big thing everyone talked about. Death Stranding 2, when it came out, everyone talked about it for 1 week, and then people act like it never existed. They're on to the next. We're already on to the next digestible experience, and then we eat it, digest it, poop it out, and we're on to the next. These games don't linger. They're not long-term anymore, right? So I agree with the article. It seems like people are just using games as a quick entertainment experience medium, and then they're on to the next. They don't stick around for long-term stuff. You know what I'm saying? Hold on one second here. I got a $2 tip from an anonymous tipper. Hold on one second. I just screwed that up. Here we go. By the way, guys, we're up to 238 of support. We still have about a half an hour left on stream. It's possible we could actually hit a second goal today. I'm not saying we're going to. I'm just saying if you guys support, we might hit another goal. Okay, so anonymous $2 tipper says Expedition 33 wins Game of the Year easily, hands down. 0% chance it won't. Anyone who does not see that needs to get checked. Well, listen, I loved Expedition 33. I would like to go back and play more. I would like to do the optional content at some point. I guess we'll see how the year goes, if I have time to do it. But you got to understand that not everyone likes every kind of game. There's people out there that don't like lengthy RPGs. They're not going to say that that's Game of the Year. There's people out there who only like FPS games, you know? So I hear you. Like, I loved Expedition 33, but I don't think it's Game of the Year for everyone at all. And I definitely can see that there's going to be contention at the end of the year, depending on how things go with these other games. Slayer thinks that Mafia Old Country will get intense coming up. Okay. I'm excited for that. I'm playing it probably 2 times this weekend. I'm going to try to beat it. I'm going to probably do 2 main streams of it to try to wrap it up and finish the game, just like I did with Death Stranding. I'm going to try to do the same thing with Mafia this week. I have already played Dead Rising 1 multiple times on this channel. If you search for it, you'll find it. Just go right into the playlists tab of the channel and type Dead Rising 1. It'll pop up. There's my original playthrough from years ago and one I just did recently too. Would I ever go back to Inzoi? Asks Spawn Killer. I would if people tell me to and say that it's good. If you remember, I bought Inzoi. We played it for 2 streams, and the game was buggy and killed my character for no reason. They just died. Like, no explanation, just dead. I was like, huh? Also, half the game wasn't done. I picked a job where the job didn't exist, so I sat in a taxi cab all day, not working. And then I tried to go to the fair and do the rides, and half the rides weren't working, so I couldn't do the content. I was like, what am I supposed to do? Why are they selling this game? So if it's done now, there's a lot more content, and you guys ever wanted to see me go back to it, I would consider it. But I would want to know that that content is there, not just go back for no reason, you know? Would I ever replay the Hitman games? Well, I haven't played that many of them. I only really played Hitman, was it Absolution? And then I played the more modern games. What was it? A trilogy of modern games or whatever. I never really played the classics. I would consider playing the classics. We actually modded one of them to run at, full HD at 4K on my PC, and we played it for a little bit. What was it? Christmas Marathon, and that was fun. I would consider if people wanted it. Cyber Elk is an 8-month member. Says still play more old games. They're just better in my opinion. Yeah, you have to find the right balance. You have to find the right balance of playing old games. Like we played Suikoden 1, and I knew I couldn't immediately play Suikoden 2. We had to give it a rest. Now, next week, we're starting Suikoden 2. Mega Man Marathon, I did one in January. I just did one last week. I will do one at the end of this month, and then we're going to give it a rest. We'll probably, if we ever bring back Mega Man, we'll give it a long time, maybe sometime next year. That's how you got to do it. You got to pace it, and you got to bring it up so it feels special. Because like I said, if you do this kind of stuff all the time, then it doesn't feel special, and then people aren't going to show up for it. You got to make it feel special when you're doing it. Press X, hello. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, everyone says Hitman Blood Money is the best one. Everyone says that. Can we have a poll to confirm interest in city building games? I don't think we have any viewers. I don't think a poll right now is going to really be too accurate or make much sense. Maybe if we had a stream that had a lot more people on it. But, this is just a hangout session. We don't even have 200 people, so probably not. I still don't know if it's Suikoden, or Suikoden. I still don't know how to pronounce this word. And I played the entire first game a few months ago, and I never figured it out. Mowgli, I have no idea why you think I'd be interested in talking about politics right now. I'm not. Oh, Slayer, you got WWE 2K25 this year? Yeah, as you know, I haven't gotten WWE games in many years. There's always the possibility a future year I will go back and do sim matches and stuff like that. But I didn't even get the game even when I was doing the commentary show, Smart Guys. So Cyber Elk, I absolutely remember Infamous, the franchise. It was great. Infamous 1 and 2 were ridiculously good games from the PS3 era. Like, synonymous with Sony, mascot level, good stuff. It's sad that they stopped making them. It really is sad. I wish that they kept making Infamous. City says Blood Money is great, but I should play 1 and 2 as well. They were groundbreaking games back then, even had a great soundtrack, he says. Yeah, I'm not following WWE at all. Really, I'm not. I don't even know who the champions are right now. I have no idea what the plot lines are. I'm just staying disconnected. I don't really care right now. It's like I said, with WWE, it has ups and downs. Sometimes it's interesting, sometimes it's not. After 5 years away, it was cool to jump in for like the 4 months I did. But you could even tell that people were bored. Like the commentary show, Smart Guys, wasn't even getting views anymore. People weren't showing up and supporting it. I was like, dude, it's just like anything. It was interesting for a short spurt, but unless you are like super heavy into wrestling and you're constantly talking about it and engaged with it and you have a community of people who are around it, it's hard to get people that excited. I tried hard. I still have those packs of cards to open. I don't even know how many I have left, but I still have unopened packs of the Topps cards in my closet. I could have the super expensive John Cena card in there. Who knows? Will I ever even open them? I don't know. Maybe I'll never open those cards. I got another $2 tip. We need Hollow Knight. Well, yeah, whatever happened, they never announced it, right? Everyone was expecting that over the summer, this new Hollow Knight was going to finally get its official announcement, and it still hasn't. Because everyone over the years has said, will you play Hollow Knight? And I said, well, I'll try it. And we tried it during a marathon. I thought it was okay. Really, I thought it was just okay. It was, kind of a Metroidvania, but tough combat like Dark Souls almost. And then every once in a while, someone asks if I'll play it. And I'm like, there doesn't seem to be a lot of demand for it. So I never really went for it. But then they announced the sequel. And I was like, well, if you guys really want me to play the sequel, I'll try it. There's no big risk there. Maybe a stream or two. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But for me, like, I was like, okay, it's going to come out. What I was thinking is it would come out around Halloween. It would make sense. It's supposed to be a horror-themed kind of game. But they just still haven't announced it, right? I don't know what they're taking so long for. It's really weird. Switch to opening Pokemon cards, says Mowgli. We could, if it was possible to get Pokemon cards without an exorbitant amount of money, I would get them and we could open them during Pokemon streams. Like, I'd be okay with that. We could get, like, a certain set of the cards or whatever, and we could actually open them when we hit, like, support goals on Pokemon streams and stuff. I'd be down for that, because I've never owned a Pokemon card in my life. So I'm curious, what it would be like to have them. But I wouldn't know where to start Aren't there like 700 sets, a zillion different expansions? I don't know what's, what would have value, what doesn't, what would be interesting to open, what's boring. I don't know. With the WWE stuff, there's one set of WWE cards. It's easy to pick the right ones. With Pokemon, there's like a zillion, right? You have to get up at 4 a.m. to order them? Oh, that's nice. Get up at 4 a.m. to order Pokemon cards for my stream. Ta Nasty did a $5 super chat. How about decorating your office like Whiterun for Halloween? Whiterun? Like Skyrim? What do you mean? You want me to actually make it look like medieval? Like completely change my background? No, what I would do is I would just do a green screen backdrop. We could do that. Like, what we could do is I could have a series of backgrounds that I could alternate for Halloween. Like right now, for example, looks like I'm in Seattle, right? Or if I could find these, it looks like I'm in a study. Look at this. I'm in a nice study. I'm about to become a scholar. It's nice and cozy in here. See that? Or what's this one? I don't even know what these are. There's a king snake. There's a king snake behind me. What about this one? The fire. People, you've seen this one before. The fire's pretty cool, right? How about this one? I'm back in Connecticut, folks. I returned to the condo in Connecticut. I will continue my content from here. As you can see, I kept the original layout. I never even changed it. So luckily what I could do stuff like that. Like, I could set up series of backgrounds where we could do stuff like that for Halloween, silly stuff, but nothing too serious. There we go. Slayer says he started collecting One Piece cards. He says Magic you can collect and play with the card as decks similar to Hearthstone, like in person. Oh yeah, Magic the Gathering cards, right? Well, you can do that with Pokemon too, right? Yeah, you can do it. They're all real card games, correct? What am I drinking? Filtered water. Nothing special, just filtered water out of my fridge. Javi, nobody the hate monger, did a $2 super chat and says, call Rich. We need the level 666 podcast back. Like, I'm not even exaggerating when I'll say this. No, not even making drama. I have absolutely, positively no desire or reason to ever talk to Rich, interact with Rich, or have anything to do with Rich ever again. Like, seriously, the only time I will ever bring him up is if you do. I don't care about what he says or does. He is just such a waste of time and breath that I don't see the reason to even bring him up ever again. Right? He doesn't affect me in any way anymore. That's for sure. He really doesn't affect me ever in any way. He's just like a non-existent person. Slayer says, seeing your background, the scenes I just showed you, the backgrounds, reminds me of Whose Line Is It Anyway, when they have to guess what the background is as a news commentator. Oh, yeah, I remember that. They would sit in front of a green screen, and they would have to, like, as a news commentator, figure out what the scene is they're describing or whatever, or what they're sitting in. Yeah, I remember that. That was funny. Yeah. So thanks, Javi, for the $2 super chat, but I don't give a shit about Rich at all. Zero interest in anything to do with him. He's just a complete waste of everyone's life and time. Like, don't know why I would care. See, I understand because last year I talked about him a lot and everything, but for me, it's like been there, done that. So you're so in my rearview mirror at this point, way down the road, several miles. I don't give a shit about what's back there. Wrigley says, do you think Rich didn't believe you when you did the King Snake stream, or was he trying to one-up you by disagreeing with you because he was still mad? No, I think, to be honest, I think he saw what was going on, and he thought the entire time that him being on my show was going to be us at each other's throats, and he wanted his chance to yell at me about nonsense, detractor stuff, right? Like, this is his thing. But that's not what it was at all, and I knew that he didn't. So the moment that he started to realize, oh shit, this isn't my show to yell at Phil, he disconnected and just wanted to talk about detractor stuff. He's bringing up stuff that had nothing to do with what we were there for. Like, here is something interesting in front of you. I have all this stuff that no one knows about that I can reveal and talk about. Oh, but I want to talk about, you don't talk close enough to your microphone. Wait, what? What are you talking about? This would be like, all right, you're going to, I don't know, you're going to meet your friend who you've had a disagreement with, a serious disagreement with, and you want to hash out this disagreement, right? So you're going to visit them at their house. You arrive at their house, and as you sit down to have the disagreement, aliens are landing outside in the street. Like literally the saucer's coming down and crowds are forming. And you're, all right, well, the aliens are out there, but you know what? We really got to hash this out. This is more important. Wait, what? No, there's aliens outside, you nitwit. We can talk about all this later. It's not really that important, seriously. There's fucking aliens. Can we go talk about the aliens and deal with the aliens? No, ignore the aliens. We have stuff to talk about. No, we don't. I was never interested in hashing out anything with Rich. Ever. There's no point. He's a waste of my time. Like every time I talk, us talking about him now is a waste of my time. We could be talking about more interesting stuff. You know? But he didn't get that. He is such a small world dude. Like seriously, his brain is tunnel vision, small world, lolcow shit. Like he thinks about it 24/7. So to him, he's like, well, I could talk about Phil about his mic and we could talk about this. What the fuck are you talking about? So nonsensical, such crap. Go talk about that shit on your own stream with people with pea brains will listen. All right? Not on my content. Dale is Wrinkly did a $5 super chat saying that my story is not believable. You don't have to believe it. It's all good. I'm good. It really, I don't care if you believe it or not. What's done is done. I'm done with it and I moved on and I'm successful and happy. So why do I give a shit if you believe my story or not? Doesn't affect me in any way. You're open to believe or not believe as much as you want. I don't have to justify anything. I'm good. We're done. Like I said, again, in my rearview mirror, I'm way ahead of it. Who gives a shit? Javi says, don't you want to own the casino again? No. No, I don't. I don't care. I'm good. Again, you have to understand something. The people who try to pull me into their lolcow vortex shit need me. They need me. That's why they want me involved with them. They need someone to make content about or with. They want someone to go back and forth with. I don't need them. I'm successful and happy on my own. They need my existence to continue. I don't need theirs. So let them swirl around me in the vortex toilet, and I will stay at the eye of the storm, being me, living my life, and being happy and positive. I didn't even know that, Kit. Kit says, what did you think about robots and other sci-fi stuff being re-added in the next Call of Duty? I didn't know it was. I actually haven't seen anything about the new Call of Duty. Isn't the reveal supposed to be soon? I'd be interested to figure out the reveal once they do it. Because I don't know anything about it. We'll have to look into that. The reveal is on Tuesday. Okay. But they have teased robots. What time Tuesday? Because maybe we'll try to time a podcast so that I can actually cover this on a podcast next week. But I'm wondering what day of the week or what time on Tuesday is this reveal? Because if it's not early enough, then maybe we'll have to talk about it on Wednesday. Because I might have to time it. I want to skip the podcast on the days we're doing Mafia because I want to finish Mafia. So I want to do maximum gameplay of Mafia. So basically, if I'm going to do a podcast talking about Call of Duty, I have to do it on a day when I'm not playing Mafia. So I have to figure all this out. No, I never had a milkshake from Shake Shack. 11 a.m. Pacific time on Tuesday. Then I could do it on the show. Depending on how long it is. That's cool. Let's say it starts at 11 and they finish at like 11:45 or whatever. Then when the podcast starts, well, let me think about that. I don't know. Crap, I guess I'll have to look into it myself, try to figure it out. Yeah, I don't know, Spawn Killer. I don't know. I mean, when you hear stuff like that, again, I don't even know if it's true or not. We're talking about Rich having a tattoo of me, supposedly. I don't want to know. Like, at that point, when you get to that level of insanity, thinking that that's content and that's, like, valid, that's something you should do. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if I got tattoos of people I don't like on my body? What the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, let's be honest. It's pretty obvious he's accepted the fact that he's going to be, like, alone for the rest of his life, right? No one in their right mind would ever be with a person who's tattooing people's faces on their body of people they don't like. You're like, oh, no, you're insane. I leave now. Goodbye. I have nothing to do with you. I leave you to your own devices. King Michael, the next DSP tries it will either be the McDonald's adult Happy Meal or Taco Bell has 3 new items, including some kind of a like a doubled up gordita that's supposed to be like a street taco, supposedly, a new flavor of Baja Blast soda, and this a $3 steak burrito. So I'll probably try all those. Yeah, see, and that's the thing. Like, literally, you notice I never bring up Rich ever. It's only when you guys do will I even talk about him. And I know nothing about him now. Like, I haven't had a single piece of information update about him since March when he was on my show. And I want to keep it like that forever. Like, no lie, I don't want to know what he's up to. I don't want to know what what he said about me. I don't care. He's insignificant. Completely just doesn't affect me at all. Don't need to know. Don't want to know.
Spinning bird kick!
Avi did a $2 super chat. Would you consider doing DSP tries it with Rich? No. I just literally just said I want nothing to do with him ever. I want to know nothing about him. Nothing good can come from anything involving that man. Ever. On this planet. Belter of the Rings, did you screw it? Oh, if I got you a game, would you play it? It depends on the game. If it's a game that I'm interested in and fits the schedule and everything, sure, you can donate a game. But, you know, I'm not going to say, oh, just send me any game and I'll just take it even though I'm not going to play it. That would be a waste. No. Turtles has any idea on a Euden Chronicle playthrough? I would like to do it at some point. I'm well aware of the franchise. I know what it is. But we're already doing Suikoden 2 starting next week. So, yeah, basically, no, we're not going to do that because we're going to do Suikoden 2 first. And then maybe in the future we'll do Euden Chronicles. We'll see. Cyber Elk, I would love to go to Europe someday. No, I have not been. Maybe in the future. The thing is, with the way things are going, with the levels of support that you guys have been giving me this year, it's very possible that in the future we could go to Europe and do a European vacation. That we it's in the cards. It could happen. It's just a matter of when rather than a matter of, it used to be a matter of, I never will be able to afford it. Now it's a matter of timing. When's the right time? Right now is definitely not the right time for anything like that, but maybe a little bit down the road. We'll see. Yeah, Hyperforce, whoever supports me gets harassed, for the record. So I really appreciate the giant super chat earlier today. I strongly recommend that you ignore any kind of nonsense that results from it. Because the thing is, when people do it, they're literally only looking for a reaction. That's it. If no reaction is given, if, like, let's say, for example, someone has a YouTube channel. They come to my channel, they leave a super chat. All of a sudden, my detractors go to their channel and start spamming them with negative comments. Here's the best way to address it. Don't respond. Don't talk about it. Don't bring it up anywhere. Moderate the channel appropriately. Ignore it and move on. That's the best way to go about it. Because giving them the attention they want is why they do it. They're so desperate for attention, these no-life losers, that they will try to do anything to get it. And the moment that you give them a minute second of your time, they will then latch onto that to try to get more. So I apologize. This happens. This is not just you. This is not a unique situation for you. This happens to literally anyone who supports me. I strongly recommend that you just ignore it, moderate appropriately, move on. Sorry it happened, but do not feed into it. That's what they want. That's the best advice I can give you from my personal experience. You got to understand, these people have been trying to take me down, whatever that means, forever. And they know now that they can never do that or have any effect on me. They're aware of this now. Like, I'm bulletproof. So they have to try to do other things to get attention. And this is what they do now. Okay. I think it's time to end the little chill session. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Anyone who watched on demand, I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys soon. Thanks a lot. Peace out.